Sign out. I have shared it to Facebook. So hello, welcome to the Thursday evening broadcast. I am your host, Rebekah Maroon, in case you didn't know. I'm going to check on the heating. It's a bit cold. Oops. That's better. You can hear the heating coming on. Yeah, welcome to the broadcast. I do these broadcasts. My light just fell down. Let me just pick that up. Oops, a daisy. It's a tripod, so it's a bit unstable sometimes if you don't position it right. So yeah, so I do these broadcasts every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. On this YouTube channel, and you ask questions through Skype, and my Skype is Rebekah Maroon. So you friend me on there, and then you write questions, or you ask me to call you through Skype, or you call me through Skype. But first of all, I will do an introduction, and then I'll open for those questions to be sent in. Yeah. If there are any questions. I don't get many questions often, so we'll see if any come in this evening. But that's how you do it if you feel to ask something. So, yes. Yeah, as always, I just sit for a little bit and just wait till I feel to speak, and then that happens. I've got to say that I'm really enjoying this self-isolation. I'm really enjoying it. I don't do that much anyway, but I do activities with the children. I go to groups and meetups and things like that for home education. So without that part, it's quite nice. It's quite similar to being at home with the kids, but it's nice not having to go to these events and things. So yeah, I'm really enjoying just going shopping and then staying in for the whole week, and then doing bits around the house. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'll definitely, I think, make changes to my routine. If you have to go out, to certain things, but maybe maybe having more time at home. Yeah, if that's possible. Yeah. Okay. Just turn my phone on to vibrate. So this life isn't personal. None of this is personal. What I mean by personal is that it's not belonging to someone. It's not as a result of someone's actions or someone's intentions. It's not for the benefit of someone, a person, an entity. So it's totally impersonal. And that can sound really bizarre when, as a human, there's been living as if you are someone personal, living as if you are an entity, living as if you are this body and you are living inside the body and you are separate and relating to the world, relating to others. Everything seems personal, everything's about me, my life, my past, my future, my concerns, my joys, my happiness, my fulfillment. That this whole life is about me. So there's so much investment in this apparent person, in this story of someone. Like watching a film or something. The main character, it seems as if the film's about them and they are the star of the whole thing, and there was so much investment in that character. Like it's going to make it, it's going to get to this happy ending. But that's only a particular angle of looking at it, a particular perspective or idea. What if this has nothing to do with that story of someone, nothing to do with that character that keeps reporting about itself? What if this is life happening and it's totally impersonal, totally not about someone? And that seeming movie, that seeming character is just a part of the flow, a part of the screen. But it's just a one perspective. And it isn't reality. Just like going to sleep and everything disappears. And there are no problems, there is no past and future, there are no plans. Like it's wiped clean. So if it's wiped clean every night in going to sleep, how real is that story? How real is that seeming character? How real is that perspective of someone? And this is the freedom, that you aren't that character. That reporting's appearing, but it doesn't belong to someone. While you believe you are the storyteller, while you believe you are that character being spoken about, then there will be a feeling of imprisonment, a feeling of limitation, a feeling of stuckness, like a loss of this boundlessness, a loss of this endless possibilities, a loss of this nakedness, a loss of this openness. When you are limited to only an aspect, limited to only a thought form, an idea. And this is what many humans are now talking about. Maybe they always were, but I'm saying now, as in now we have the internet and it's more accessible to people. But this is what is being spoken about. This reminding of who you are, or this pointing out of another possibility, a wonderful possibility. of non-limitation, of freedom, freedom from human suffering, which is freedom from mind identification. What a what a what a wonderful thing that this is available and spoken about. That you are free. So all human seeking is for seeking this. We call it seeking happiness or seeking peace. We think it's offered in various things, activities, various pleasures, experiences. But ultimately what's being longed for is what this is or what we are. It's not found in objects, in forms that appear and disappear. It's not found in this dream. And yet this dream appears. This movie appears. Your freedom isn't found in the movie, in the changing forms. Your freedom is in what you are. Or what this is. And it can be a strange thing to wake up, to awaken to what this is. My kids are upstairs running around. Can hear. Okay. Because we believe this waking up is a personal thing, that this story of someone is going to awaken. This story of someone who's moving through time will now move towards awakening and will become awakened. But that's not what's being described. That's a mental idea that you exist and you become awakened. But the awakening is the revealing of what you are, not an attainment, but a revealing of what you are. So then the question is, what what does that mean for the person? What does that mean for that movie character? It means the movie character is free to be that movie character. Doesn't mean that movie character escapes this dream reality. It doesn't escape the laws of this human reality. So it still has to deal with pain and pleasure. But it's not relevant. It's no longer relevant, because before it was relevant whether you had pleasure or had pain. It was relevant. It was so important that you only had pleasure and you avoided the pain, because your whole being, your whole contentment was based upon pain and pleasure. So it was very important. Whereas in discovering who you are, yes, the person naturally moves towards pleasure, positive things, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect who you are. Nothing can affect who you are. Like before, you were blown around this way and that way, depending on how life appeared. Because there wasn't a revealing of that, of your essence, of what was true. There was just the movie. And there's full-on engrossment in the movie. You hadn't realised you were sitting, watching this movie appearing. The movie felt real and important, and peace couldn't be found because of this constant moving and changing of the movie. Rest couldn't be found. Contentment couldn't be found. Happiness couldn't be found. Just temporary happiness, temporary pleasure. But not the joy of what you are, the joy of being. So this awakening is a discovery of that. And this is what the talks are about. The discovery of that. That's a nice end, I think. Sewn that up well. Lord Kid. Hi, Lord Kid. So Prachi sent me a question. Yeah, Prachi. I wasn't sure I wanted to answer questions. I was just checking I wanted to answer questions. I'm not sure I do, but I'll just go to this one because it was written a few days ago and I haven't responded to it. What's this love non-duality speakers talk about? What's this love non-duality speakers talk about? I covered that already in the introduction, really. I think I already answered it. It's a different sort of love than what I thought love was about from watching movies and hearing songs, and you hear about the word love. And you want it because it feels like completion. It feels like wholeness. And it is, but the way it is portrayed, like it's a personal thing, like it's a personal acquirement, if that's a word. Like love's an object, a thing, and that isn't the love that is being talked about or described. It's not that sort of love, which is so bizarre, having been conditioned into this idea of what love is. That's not love. That's not love. I mean, it has love in it, but it's not unconditional love. It isn't a feeling. Like it has no judgment or preference or anything. That's why it's unconditional. Like it doesn't matter, it accepts everything. It allows everything. and so not personal. It's beautiful. That's what I would say love is. It's like a yeah. So if you have any questions, you can now send them in. I wasn't sure I wanted questions because um yeah, so I know that I do these online talks, but I I I feel like I'm not necessarily a communicator like that. Like I'm not a natural verbal communicator. I heard about a tribe. I'm not sure where they were from, but I'm guessing South America or something, or Africa. And they were like, they didn't use language as such, words. They spoke with, it wasn't clicks, it was like a whistle. They whistled. They whistled to communicate. I did feel like, oh my God, that's like me. Like, I don't, yeah. Obviously, I'm open to communicating, and I do talk. I'm open to talking and communicating. But like it's not like who I am. It's not really who I am. Meaning, I'll explain that more. Full stop. Meaning, like this may sound quite strange, but I'm learning how to be who I am, like like naturally who I am, rather than being what the mind says I am, or being the way society tells me I need to be, or conforming to expectations and conforming to those sorts of things. Yeah, so like going back to like the natural impulses, the natural preferences of this machine, like before it started acting to please others. I still sometimes act to please others. I still sometimes I feel bad for people, so I sometimes do things to like please other people, but a lot less than what I used to. But what was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. La Gomera in the Canary Islands. They speak with whistles. Oh, really? Yeah. I found it so interesting just to see that. A totally different way of interacting and being, different to what we're used to in this society anyway. It's just amazing to see how we think we need to be is different to another culture or another part of the world. It's amazing. So it isn't fixed. It isn't the way it needs to be. Excuse me. So we're living in boxes of how things need to be, how we need to be as humans. It's not true. I'm losing my voice. See, I spoke too much. I spoke more than normal. Let's try pineapple. Yeah. So to be open to however this appears, to however this presents itself, is miraculous. It's total freedom. Total freedom. Being what you are. Like being what you are ultimately, and then being what you are humanly. But I believe, and this could be wrong, just what I feel from my experience anyway, like there needs to be a discovering of who you are for there to then be that freedom on the human level. Like there needs to be a discovering of ultimately who you are, a revealing of that like a dropping of that attachment to who you think you are. Thank you, Eduardo, for that. La Gomera. La Gomera. So this is home. This is home. All the sensations in the body, in the fingers, in the toes, the sounds of the children, the sounds of the water pump, the slouching shoulders. Let's sit back. This. And if the mind's telling a story, if the mind's reporting, then that's what's happening also. It's just not true. It's just not the reality. So this is the experience. This is all there is. And we run away to live in the mind stories because it's uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable. But there's no peace found in the mind. You may find heaven and hell in the mind, but you won't find peace. I'm going to paint on Saturday. I haven't painted my wall fully. It stops. The green colour stops about here. I haven't gone behind the setting, so I'm gonna finally do it on Saturday. I think. Yeah. So the pros of staying in, you can get jobs done. Okay, so thank you for joining. I am back next Thursday, 8:30 p.m. UK time. You can join me then for more pointing to this. Have a good week. Bye.